Rotogrinders? Dean here, Dean78904. That is daily fantasy handle. No time for pleasantries. We'll tell you all it's 5:11 on the East Coast. It's 2:11 on the West Coast, 4:11 Tennessee time. So, of course, that makes it time for the flagship show here at Rotogrinders. It is called Grinderslive. Joining me today, we have a very fired up and amped up Grant Neefer again. Not a lot of pleasantries, but let's say hello. What's up, Grant? How are things in your world?
Darn it! Cole Anthony's playing.
That? What? Why?
Wendell Carter Jr. is playing. Well, fudge.
Oh boy. Did you just lose a bunch of money on props? You like Okiki and like Wagner and things like that?
I had
Gary Harris. That's the guy.
I had a lot of Gary Harris.
I initially got my bet in beforehand for Gary Harris under.
Bet the unders now. If you guys can get them right now, bet Gary. What's up, everybody? YouTube. Hey, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and yeah, Andre. If you're in a legal state or if you know a guy, this is the time right now to smash Gary Harris under on his props. I don't know how long your window is, but that is surprising. Rarely, I did not expect Anthony Carter to play tonight. It's already gone.
It's gone.
Oh boy, and so is like your $2,000 on Gary Harris over. Sorry to say.
I mean,
whatever it is.
Like, I'm still fine. Like, I bet Gary Harris over 2.5 assists. I kind of knew that this was a possibility, and even with Cole Anthony and Wendell Carter Jr. playing, he's still probably projected at a slight loss.
I have not looked at the prices on those guys. Are they even interesting, or does that just make Orlando just kind of like completely unplayable?
Yeah, F them. We're done.
11 games on this slate. What's up, Andre? How are things in your world? I guess you got shut out as well. If you're trying to get some Gary Harris under props,
I'm trying to right now. Honestly, I don't know. I'm doing on prize picks. I can't call my guys for to put in my bet on FanDuel on the sportsbook app right now since I'm not able to make it to Jersey. So hey, I'm just gonna have to do what I can.
Oh, New York, you got to go in person, right?
Yeah, I gotta go in person. I gotta go to order, so I don't have time to do that right now.
Invent teleportation.
Yeah, I've been trying to do that actually. I've been working on my, Dragon Ball Z skills, create instant transmission, just go anywhere in the country, then come back.
Smart guy right here, or over here.
You got a teleportation guy. Well, that's yeah. All right, Doc Brown and the Almanac. All right, well, let's talk about tonight's slate. It's we're gonna break down game by game. What's up, chat? Hit that like button. Do subscribe. Do turn on notifications. Like we said, short on pleasantries because it's an 11 gamer. We're not messing around. Got to get all these games in before Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody out there. Early Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Stay safe. If you're traveling, travel safe. All that good stuff. Yeah, so 11 games today, no games tomorrow. And then, of course, they have that 5-game slate scheduled for Christmas. We'll see how that goes down. But do you have any general thoughts, Andre, before we kind of dive in and break it down? Like, there's a lot to talk about. And many teams have many situations. We're monitoring a lot. A lot has already been kind of unfolded so far, but general overview as far as this massive slate.
Well, I think it's actually not that bad of a slate. It's pretty straightforward in my opinion. Just play the good plays, make good combinations, and there's spots where you definitely want to get different at, or you can't get different at, and I think that'll lead to winning a lot of money personally. And I just hope that people play it and listen to us and they win some money. But it's straightforward to me.
Same deal, Grant.
Yep.
Super efficient there with your words.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just go. Let's dive right on in. This Orlando. You want to start with Orlando, or shall we move away from that game and kind of jump back and give our projection?
I mean, we can start with that game. Orlando's worthless now.
I think we should. That game actually is very important because they play against New Orleans. New Orleans has some pieces out, so we should come back to that game. Let them.
All right. We'll go to the Indiana game where we don't know anything either. Well, at least I think, I don't want to say we think, but I know me and Grant were talking before the show. We think that Brogdon's not going to play tonight. Like he got left with an injury. He came back and he had the same injury again, and he's facing Houston tonight. Come on, it's Houston. Do you really need Brogdon against Houston? I think there's a pretty good chance he sits out. Nothing official just yet. Of course, we're going to keep our eye on Twitter to see if any kind of news breaks there as far as the Indiana side. But yeah, if Brogdon is out, well, we shouldn't say if Brogdon is out. As far as the end pieces, he's the only one that we're really monitoring. Everybody else, McConnell's been out for a while, is going to be out for a while. TJ Warren hasn't played a game all season. Brogdon is questionable with his Achilles. As far as the Houston side, we're expecting Jalen Green back, which is good for picking on Houston defense. They're a poor defensive team as is. They play fast as well. 222.5 is the total. Like we said, Indiana's well favored in this game, favored by 10 points, Grant. If we work under the assumption that Brogdon's out, and we'll know, if not right now, we're just kind of guessing, but we'll know because 7 o'clock is the tip off. We'll know Reddit lock, not before then, not in 20 minutes or so. Grant, how are we handling these Pacers?
Not a huge fan of any of them outside of LeVert. That's kind of it. Like, even without Brogdon there, Sabonis is probably a little bit overpriced. I think you can play him over on FanDuel, where he's 8.8K. Miles Turner is always a guy that you can play in tournaments, but everyone else kind of seems like they're not really a great value. And LeVert on the slate as a whole does not seem like a great value. He is playable. He is someone that you can throw in your lineups, but I'm largely just going to fade Indy.
Interesting. And also, like, Wanamaker, I'm seeing like it's a good quote unquote math play in theory if Brogdon doesn't go, but I'll ask you, Andre, like, you know,
he's not a bad play. There's just so many cheap guys that I'm probably not going to end up with much of them.
That's sort of the thought process in like in every, you know, the context, every slate matters, right? In some slates, a player at 3K that gets you 22 points or 21 points or 24 points, that is super useful. On this slate, 21 points at 3K, I don't know how useful that is, just because, you know, there's so much stuff that's opened up already as is. And like, so like, in theory, it's a good play, but not really. Your thoughts there, Andre, as far as like, again, under the assumption that Brogdon's out, and that's kind of what you're talking about, like about playing the good plays, like Wanamaker's on the fringe of the good plays, even if things kind of fall his way. And touch on LeVert, Sabonis, and the rest of the Pacers.
Yeah, in my opinion, Wanamaker is the worst of the good plays. He hasn't been good this year at all. So even in the absence of Malcolm Brogdon. So to me, that's not a play I want to get to today. I do want to try to get to a lot of I know Meansy got him tagged here, the core play, but Karis LeVert, he plays his fantasy point per minute goes up a lot. And his ball handling duties go up a lot. It's when he's not on the same court as when he's not sharing the court with Brogdon. So I like the play, and the price is still too cheap, around 6.4K on FanDuel. And on DK, I think his price is at 7.7K. So it's a little bit pricey over there. Good tournament play.
Brogdon ruled out.
Yep. There it is. Boom. Right on cue. Nice.
So,
the bonus ruled out.
What? LeVert's gonna smash.
Bananas.
Wait,
bananas,
who plays?
Bananas. Sorry, go ahead. Do what you want.
Miles Turner, excellent play too as well. Against this Houston team, I would play both of them. Honestly, they both are honestly probably core plays. Now because like and especially on FanDuel where Turner can be played at the power forward position and center position. That's a phenomenal play in my opinion. Now,
is it Brissett? Who would get more minutes now, Brissett or? Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
Brissett, Duarte now becomes in play a little bit more. I think that's really. I can't think of anyone else in Indiana that would be interesting. That would step up a lot. We can see a little bit of Keelan Martin that's going to play. Holiday might see his minutes increase a little bit more. Now he might play 30 minutes. And he's 4.1K on FanDuel and 3.9 on DK. So he might see a lot more minutes. Brissett too as well. I expect to see a lot more minutes as well. And Brissett's a good fantasy play too tonight. I think it'd be sneaky. But my main priorities are are LeVert and Turner, and probably Duarte, because Duarte is going to probably see upwards of 30 to 35 minutes. I can see.
Yeah, I think we have Brissett projected for 24 minutes before that's a bonus, and Brogdon news, of course, is a bonus, is a bigger piece. 0.76 fantasy points per minute on the season. 3.8 on DK, 4.5 on FanDuel. More useful there on DK potentially. Like you said, they could just get Duarte some more run, more Lamb run. Yeah, Grant, your instant thoughts as far as those two being out, and obviously LeVert just jumps off the page. Is just an awesome play, especially on FanDuel, like even more so because of his price there. But 7.7 on DK still obviously fine.
Yeah, no, I pressed the enter on my bet just as it was closing. Yeah, not happy. But yeah, as of right now, take back what I said about Wanamaker. He's actually pretty decent play. LeVert stands out as very good play. Turner, Brissett, all these guys are now good plays. Holiday, good play. Like everyone, like you're getting rid of the two biggest usage guys in that offense. And now you have not a single player over 8K going up against Houston, one of the worst defensive teams and one of the fastest paced teams. Like, now this game immediately becomes a very interesting spot. Now it's all about, do you want to bring anyone back over on the Houston side?
I think the answer to that is no. I mean, you can play Wood if you want to, but Andre, you answer that. Well, what do you think of the Rockets? Are you interested in the Rockets tonight? Because it's you could do it if you're playing 150. Of course you can, but I don't think anybody pops up the page for me.
No, nothing pops off on the Houston side for me, unless you want to use them with GPPs and run, like I said, 150. But other than that, I can't get to any of them.
I'm trying to run this on the fly. I'm pulling up the Court IQ, and I know I ran it earlier today. I kicked off McConnell and Brogdon, and LeVert had a 33% usage. Now I'm going to kick off Sabonis and see how that changes things. Let's see. So in 42 minutes, right? 42 minutes, LeVert has a 39.9% usage, which is a bump of 12.2%. Yeah, we like that, right, Grant? That's a good number.
Cole Anthony and Wendell Carter Jr. will be on a minutes limit.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. What's the point, Orlando? Yeah. So 39.9% as far as the usage, Grant, with those three guys, McConnell, Brogdon, and Sabonis kicked off 42 minutes. LeVert's a smash. Yes.
Yep.
I'm just trying to see who else is kind of interesting. Lamb, 23% usage. Turner, 22.5. As far as what kind of bumps we get, Duarte gets a nice bump as well too, at least as far as his fantasy points. What is that as far as well, how many minutes is that? 46. Okay. All right. We know what's going on with Indiana, and we got nothing. We're not selling anything in Houston. I know Andre didn't sound terribly interested. You got anything to sell?
I bet the over on Matthews props. That's it. No DFS interest.
12.5, 13.5. What is it?
10.5.
Oh. Hey, yeah. You know what, Grant? You know what we did the other day, last time you were on, you threw some of your favorite props of the day. Of course, you have them on Scores and Odds as well. But, you tease the people, give a few in the Discord channel. We talk about this, we've moved our chat over the Rotogrinders Discord. If you guys want to find us, you're on YouTube, like, hey, where can we chat with these people? There's no chat there. Do it the like button, and then go ahead and check out rotogrinders.com/Discord. Go to the live stream chat channel. Some channels are premium, some channels are free. This is a free channel. And Grant, I assume you can throw a couple bones to the people, give them some of the.
I threw in 5 of them. Like,
yeah.
It's a little tougher today because some of them are worthless. Some of them are now off the board.
Yeah. And like typically we compile questions there as well. We're going to do our best to get to those questions, but we have an 11-game slate. So no promises, but feel free to fire up some questions so we have time. We will do our best to get to those at some point in the show. Well, that'll be the end of the show. We're moving on. Let's jump to you guys want to do Atlanta, Philadelphia, or no, let's go to New Orleans and Atlanta. Well, what do you want to do, Andre? Which one makes more sense?
Let's just do New Orleans.
Yeah, let's do New Orleans, Orlando, because honestly, like you said, they're going to be on a minutes limit. I don't know how true that is or how much the minutes is going to be, just being honest, just because Cole Anthony when he was out the last time he came back, he went and played 36 minutes against Denver. And I believe the same situation where he was on a minutes limit and he played 36 minutes. So I don't know how true that is. You play at your own risk though, if you want to. But I think Cole Anthony and Wendell Carter are the only good plays on Orlando. New Orleans side. Sorry, I'm just getting out the way real quick. New Orleans side, I like Devontae Graham, Herbert Jones, B.I., Josh Hart, and Willie Hernan-Gomez. I think this is a great game stack that you can go with now, honestly. Because it should be fast-paced and high scoring, especially without Valanciunas in there.
Yeah, Valanciunas being out leads us to, on a slate with a lot of value, potentially the best value play on this slate. Willie Hernan-Gomez presumably draws the start, presumably plays, 25 or so minutes. He's not a good defender, but he's a really good offensive player and an awesome fantasy point minute player, like better than most any player out there. Of course, he's playing against a lot of backups, a lot of second units and all that, but 1.38 DK points per minute, 1.37 FanDuel points per minute. Yeah, Grant. And Hernan-Gomez is 3.8 on DK, center only. FanDuel, they're even giving you power forward eligibility, so you have some versatility with him. The only issue there, I suppose, you want to make the ownership number, and I imagine I'm going to do a look as far as their ownership in a second. I'm sure he's going to be heavily owned. And if you want to be a little bit different, you go ahead and you run the backup out there, Jackson Hayes, who's also a pretty good fantasy point minute player. Hernan-Gomez has been known to get handsy at times. He could play 20, 25 minutes or so. That can definitely flip. I think he's interesting for tournaments. He is stone minimum. And there is like 30-point upside in that game for Jackson Hayes. He catches on the right side of it. What are you doing here with New Orleans, Grant?
playing all of them. I mean, without J-Val, that's 30-point usage hole. Hernan Gomez should end up playing 20, 30 minutes. You don't really know. He's going to be super heavily owned, but I don't really care. Like, he's cheap enough and there's enough upside there where I'm willing to play him. But everyone else is really in play. Like, without Valanciunas, BI should get a little bit of a usage upgrade, which he's already shooting a ton. He's been putting up pretty decent numbers recently. He is close to 10K, but I don't really care. It's going up against Orlando, who's one of the worst defensive teams in the league. Graham, Herbert, Jones, both those guys are fine. I really do like Josh Hart. I think he's my favorite of the bunch. I mean, his rebounding numbers should probably increase because of this. His usage should probably increase. He can legitimately play 40 minutes and put up 50 points in this spot. He's been doing very well recently. He comes to this in very good form, putting up 40 plus in each of the last two games. I see a double-double here coming.
The other important thing to note, like the big one is Valanciunas, but also Like Na's not
Isaiah Stewart has entered health and safety protocols.
Okay, does that make anything exciting as far as Detroit? Detroit's of course they're already without Cunningham. They're without Frank. Well, Frank Jackson's questionable. Killian Hayes, I believe, is off the injury report, and Grant and Olynyk are gone.
Oh my gosh, everyone! What?
Just we're gonna cancel the game or what? Just cancel.
Maybe.
They're facing Miami. We'll talk about Miami.
Play just read who just got listed off. I'm trying to make bets and now they're gone. All right, so we currently have Saban Lee, Killian Hayes, Isaiah Stewart, all in health and safety protocols. Then I just got bets in on Sadiq Bey and Diallo
Joseph,
over on points. Joseph is going to play a big role in this one. Like, he's going to eat up a lot. Should we just go to that game right now? Are you ready to talk, Andre? Because I am.
Yeah, we can move on to that game. I just wanted to say BI is probably my favorite play from the game with New Orleans. I love him as a spend up, and Josh Hart's second one after that.
Andre, what are you doing with Hernan Gomez? Because I think it's an important. What's that?
I'm playing him. I just don't know how much I'm going to get to him because it's a lot of value. It's a lot of, these all guys could be intertwined and mixed in different positions. So I'm definitely going to have him. I don't know if I'm going to have as much as the field. I'm trying to see if I'm going to get 60%. I'm probably get under it, honestly, but it's kind of hard to want to get under it with the ceiling he might have in this matchup. But Wendell Carter, is not really known for a defense, but he can play pretty decent. So I don't know. It's gonna be.
You like Hayes as a pivot? Is he interesting at all to you, or is that too cute?
That's too cute in my opinion on this slate because he's not going to get 26 minutes. That's the most honestly minutes he's ever gotten, and that was last season. I think, and he started in that game against Charlotte. I just looked it up not too long ago, and he had 48 fantasy points in that game. So to me, he's not in play for me.
All right. Do we want to jump the Atlanta Philadelphia game and talk the?
Let's just talk about that, I guess.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and knock that one out. Atlanta versus Philadelphia, 206 is the total. Philadelphia, we're looking at 11-point favorite. Atlanta on the back-to-back with travel as well. We know about their situation: Trae Young, Capella, Gallinari, Kevin Huerter, Lou Williams, TLC, Hunter, Hill, all out. We saw Wright, Reddish, and Collins all play right around 40 minutes last night. We saw Lance Stevenson play 20 minutes in the year 2021. It's amazing. Good for him. Andre, there's some good minutes eaters here. And DeLon Wright, we saw Reddish. He put up a score you absolutely had to have last night. Collins as well. The matchup a little trickier here against, Embiid lurking on the inside for Philly. How do you feel about Atlanta? There's good stuff and there's good stuff opening up. And you got to just play the good plays and different combinations of. Who are the good plays for you in Atlanta?
Yeah, Cam Reddish is the standout play for me on this team just because of the price point he had. He didn't really I would have thought he would have increased a little bit more than what he did on these sites. They did on DraftKings increase him on FanDuel. They really didn't that much. Actually, they left him the same. Actually, he went down in salary, but he stands out to me as a phenomenal play. Here, he obviously plays offense. He shot the ball pretty well, career high in points and minutes. So I think that he's a phenomenal player, stands out. Gorgie Deng is someone that you not want to get to, but I don't know how much I'm going to have of him on this slate. Just got to figure it out. going against Embiid, he might get in foul trouble, which is what concerns me here. But these guys are going to have to play. But my main guys that want to play, the ones who are going to play the most minutes. So a guy like Cam would be up first, and then followed by John Collins. DeLon Wright is just a pure GPP play. He has not been playing like how he used to play back in like a year ago, or so. So when he was on Dallas. So to me, that's kind of concerning. I don't know what's up with him. He should be playing a lot.
Don't want to shoot. He don't want to shoot.
He's really passive. Me and Grant both were sweating his point total last night, and 9.5. We had to get him over 9.5, and he got the 9.
Yeah,
that was not fun.
Yeah, eight shot attempts in 38 minutes is not. It's not like uplifting for me. So he's like the last person I want to play. I'd rather play Dang before him.
And Grant, what do you have to add as far as this? As far as this game?
Not really much. I mean, he was spot on here. Reddish is one of the best plays on the entire slate. He's sitting at 4.6K. They didn't have time to react to things since they had the pricing out prior to that game being over with last night. He put up a huge amount of points. He put up 50 fantasy points. He's going to shoot a lot. They need him to shoot here. I know it's not a great matchup going up against Philly, and they do have under 100 implied team total. But outside of Collins, no one on this team is over 5K. Outside of Bogdanovich, who's only going to play 25 minutes coming back from injury. They are still playing for the playoffs. They still do want to win, but this is a spot where Reddish is just going to do everything. DeLon Wright, you're right. He's a little bit too passive. He still stands out as a pretty solid play at 4.2K, considering he's going to play high 30s minutes. While he might not get there in points, he's still getting dimes, he's still getting rebounds, he's still getting some blocks and steals. Gorgie Dang, no longer really that relevant for me on this slate. He's sitting at 3.3K, but there's so many other good plays at the cheap range. I do think that a lot of builds are going to end up with Dang and Hernan Gomez in at center, and I don't think that's the right way to go anymore. Dang is just really not giving you a ton of upside. He could end up playing 30 minutes, but more than likely he's going to get in some foul trouble, and he's going to have some problems with Embiid. They have been bad versus forwards and centers this season, but I still don't see a high amount of upside for Gorgie Dang here. And I think Okongwu is going to end up stealing some minutes, and he's not really interesting either. Collins is the one guy that I'm still trying to figure out. Should statistically play a bunch of minutes and do a whole lot in that, but I don't know if that's going to end up happening. He's a decent tournament play, but he's going to draw enough ownership where he doesn't really stand out as a fantastic play on this slate.
Yeah, but that's the interesting thing. You mentioned Bogdanovich came back from injury last night. They kind of babied his minutes, and they've been babying Okongwu as well. And now they're both on a back-to-back, and they're also desperate for guys to fill in minutes. But, how much are they actually going to be asked to play? You mentioned Dang, and I think he's going to fall back as well. I don't think people are going to be playing. I mean, you're going to find the money for Jokic. You're going to find the money for Towns now, I think. As, you run your two centers as far as DK specific. I think that's what people are going to do. Yeah, and I was trying to figure out, okay, just play Collins more at the 5, but like Collins against Embiid just feels like that's going to be ugly for Collins.
Let's speed things up, Daniel.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're fine. Grant, by the way, the Philadelphia side,
Embiid.
we didn't really touch.
Embiid, that's it.
I mean, okay, Embiid's, I think, 12K on DK.
And he's playing Gorgie Dang, John Collins, and Okongwu.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I'm just trying to, I don't know how. Yeah, you can get there, of course. Also, we should mention, Danny Green in his 40 minutes, I think he played last game, is not playing tonight. Niang, Melton, and Drummond also out. Andre, what are your thoughts as far as the Philadelphia side?
Yeah, Embiid is a bias. That's all I have on there. But Embiid's probably one of the best spend-ups on the slate. Get to him.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Detroit. Miami 208 is the total. Miami 10-point favorite, and well, Grant, you want to run it down again, or I can run it down?
So now without Saban Lee, Isaiah Stewart, and Killian Hayes, they're not only have a very small amount of depth for bigs, but they also have a very small amount of depth at the guard position. Who knows if this game will end up playing? I think they have enough guys, but now Diallo and Frank Jackson, if he ends up play, and Corey Joseph and Trey Lyles are all just smash spots. Sadiq Bey is the one guy that's priced up a little bit, but he's willing to shoot a lot. Without Cunningham, without Grant in the offense, he's going to still shoot a lot. He becomes a very good play at 6.7K. My favorite play in this game is Diallo, followed by Joseph, followed by Frank Jackson, followed by Bey, followed by Lyles. You can play any of them. If you want to play Luka Garza or McGruder, Garza has actually shown to
he's
be
a
not
good fantasy point minute player, but he can foul a lot. And he also is not ready defensively, but go ahead.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Do you think anyone on this team is ready defensively? This is the worst team. This is the worst team since the Thunder had Giddey, Dort, and SGA out and lost by 80 points to Memphis. This is going to be an absolutely beautiful dumpster fire. But none of these guys are really that important outside of Sadiq Bey. So guess what? Joseph and Jackson and Lyles and Garza are all going to get run in the case of a blowout here. Diallo probably will too. This is just beautiful, beautiful trash.
I'm seeing 10 guys. I'm seeing Lyles, Magruder, revenge game, Josh Jackson, Isaiah Livers. And by the way, you mentioned, I don't know who that is. You mentioned Diallo's your favorite play. You should be clear that you mean Hamidou Diallo and not Cheikh Diallo, who apparently is on the Detroit roster.
I forgot about that. He just got signed like 2 days ago.
They got to be brothers, right? I don't know, but I'm assuming maybe. You know, doesn't matter. I forgot about Cheikh Diallo. Andre, what are your thoughts here as far as the Pistons? Again, they're priced to lose. Not a great matchup versus Miami. Obviously, it's not the best Miami team either. We'll talk about them in a second defensively. But yeah, Detroit, what do you have for me?
Just Diallo. I probably won't get. I have Corey Joe my player pool right now, but I might eliminate him. But his price at 3.8K on FanDuel is, excuse me, it's really good, and 3.4 on DK is too. So maybe he might make it in. Just
Ooh, Kevin Huerter could be available to play.
That's because
there it is.
That helps. Because he's going to be playing the minutes, and if he gets 30 minutes, he actually has some upside in here at the 3.8K price. And Sadiq Bey, those are like my three favorites. Diallo probably number one just because his upside and what he offers, and then Bey from there. I'll go to the Miami side real quick because I only like two players from there: Kyle Lowry and Tyler Hero.
Yeah, they're all right plays. That's it.
And yeah, and probably gonna maybe want to do a run back. And my primary guy again, I know it's gonna be Tyler Hero. He's still too cheap for what he offers, and he should be able to smash in this matchup at low ownership in tournaments.
Is Yurt Stebbins still like the floor? I guess he's not. He's in 4.2, 4.8. He was on his way to absolutely smashing the other day. He was still good, but like he got fouled out like at 6 minutes to go. He had all his mop-up time available for him. Huerter would hurt, obviously. Guys, he would tick Wright. He would tick Reddish. He would tick Bogdanovich. And I don't know if you play Huerter. I don't know how much Huerter is, to be honest. And I don't know how much he could play. But is that fair to say, Grant? He would hurt all those guys incrementally at worst or at best, however you want to say it?
I mean, I'm worried about eating into Reddish's minutes on the second of a back-to-back after playing 40.
I think he hurts Reddish with the minutes, but I think he hurts Wright more so because I think Huerter will be the point guard, probably handle the ball more.
And Wright needs every minute he can get the way he plays, as passive as he is. All right. Deep breath. Another game with a bunch of stuff that's we'll get to Washington and New York. 208.5 is the total. New York is a 4-point favorite here. Washington, of course, Rui Hachimura on his way back, but probably not tonight. Washington without KCP, which is a pile of minutes. They're without Bradley Beal, another pile of minutes, a pile of usage as well. Whenever Beal is out, we look at a guy like Spencer Dinwiddie against New York. Andre, is that the first place we're looking? Like Danny Avdija, we're projecting him to jump in the starting lineup. We're also projecting Aaron Holiday. Maybe I'm just trying to think who else might be interesting. Kuzma could be kind of sort of someone interesting. But again, you want premium plays tonight.
I didn't even notice Beal was out of the lineup.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well.
That was about an hour ago.
Yeah. No, I was on the phone at the time, and I got a notification. I must not have seen it. God, darn this. Like, slate is bananas.
This Spencer Dinwiddie is too cheap. He might be like, I don't like locking people in or calling people locks like that, but he might really be a lock. Like because he tends to be more aggressive, especially when Bradley Beal isn't there, and he's going to have to be. So, like Spencer Dinwiddie to me is the best play. Probably one of the best plays on the slate. Clearly, just play him 4.6 on FanDuel, too cheap. Woo. 5.3 on DraftKings is still too cheap. He should get 30 to maybe 40 fantasy points here in this matchup. I like Kyle Kuzma.
You guys like the over on his points prop of 15.5? That seems low.
I think that's low for him personally.
I think so, yeah.
And Kuzma's at 14.5. I think I'm going to hit both of those.
I think both. To me, that's what's going to go next. Kuzma and Spencer has to pretty much do most of the scoring. So I love getting to both of them today at a pretty high clip. And also Montrezl Harrell is a good GPP play. I think no one's really going to be on him, but he's going to have to play a little bit more minutes. And we can see him have a monster game in his front court at 5.3 today on FanDuel.
So New York is getting some players back. RJ Barrett is back. Obi Toppin has cleared the health protocols as well. They are still without Quickly. They're out without Nerlens Noel. Derrick Rose is out for months now. Knox, McBride also not playing. Grimes, I think he cleared protocol too. So, Andre, New York has become less appealing, right? With Barrett coming back, reclaiming a pile of minutes, I presume. Are we still interested in anybody here as far as New York, or that was a couple days ago and we're done with that?
I personally am only interested in like Randall and Burks and GPPs. That's about it. But more so just Randall because he's going to be the more so the offensive priority of the game. But other than that, not really many.
Burks is 5'6" on FanDuel. I think we still have a discrepancy as far as his FanDuel versus DK price. He's 7'8" on DK. Cannot talk to that. But 5'6", right? That's pretty good. Is that?
Yeah.
Grant, what do you have for me as far as the Knicks? Anything to add there? I heard you chiming in. It doesn't sound like you're terribly.
I don't want anyone from the Knicks from Washington. I'm with you on Dinwiddie.
All right, let's move on. Dallas at home versus Milwaukee. Milwaukee.
No, someone asked about Kemba. I don't want any Kemba. Like, he's probably going to move out the starting lineup. The main value on him was the fact that he was playing 40 minutes. With Barrett coming in there, that's a decrease to his usage and a decrease to his minutes. I don't want Kemba.
Yeah, good job to chime in and clarify that. And thanks for keeping an eye on that chat. Again, if the people are not aware, if you watch us on the old YouTube, do hit that like button, do subscribe, and join us. Join us in the Rotogrinders Discord, rotogrinders.com/Discord. Go to the live stream chat channel and chime in. Yeah, there you go. Any questions you have, we're going to do our best to get to into the show. No promises. Again, 11-game slate. And of course, Grant has dropped some of his player props in there as well, too. And
Rodney McGruber entered health and safety protocol. Gosh,
no revenge game for McGruder. And they still have 9, though, right? They still have 9.
They still have 9.
Lyles, Jackson, Livers, and both Diallos. Yeah.
Where can I hit some livers overs?
That's in like, I don't know where you can get an Isaiah Livers prop, but good luck finding that one. Man, I could not pick him out of a lineup of like 2 people. I don't know who Isaiah Livers is. I hope I'm sure he's good at basketball. Good enough. All right, let's talk about Milwaukee. Milwaukee and Dallas, 209 is the total. Milwaukee on the back end of a back-to-back. Milwaukee is a 3-point favorite. Goofiness last night once again with Milwaukee, not putting Grayson Allen anywhere in the injury report, just like he was sick, didn't tell anybody, but is a jerk. Giannis, we know, is still out. Portis is still out, obviously. We talked about this last night, Grant. I was trying to convince you to bet Dallas because I think something squirrely is happening with Milwaukee. They're not. I don't even think their players went. Their good players didn't even go to Dallas. They're not on the plane. But maybe I'm wrong. It was a prosperous theory. I was just going to throw it out there. But they're coming back for Christmas to play a game. Like, why don't they go for a one-day trip to see Dallas? Anyways, Grant, what do you have for me as far as the Bucks under what we know right now, which is we're assuming everybody's playing that's supposed to play?
Yeah, if we assume everyone's going to play that's supposed to play, then I think that Cousins and Drew are both pretty solid plays. Like, Drew has been pretty entrenched in this offense. So a matchup going versus Dallas without all these guys in it. I'm currently under the assumption that we will get news that either Drew or Middleton is ruled out prior to.
Yeah.
I've already bet the max overs and the points and assists and rebounds and the points and assists and the points and rebounds. I have so much money on both Drew and Middleton. If both of them end up playing, I'm throwing my computer through a wall. But I honestly
don't worry, you got Gary Harris overs to save you.
Yeah, well, I also got Hamidou Diallo and Sadiq Bey's overs to save.
What about livers? You get livers?
I have a liver. It is inflamed. But I still like, regardless, like, I like all the Drew Holiday overs. I'm not a huge fan of the Middleton overs, but they're not bad. They're roughly they're very marginal negative EV right now if everyone ends up playing, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
Honor, are you with me and Grant? We're starting our own little conspiracy here that something goofy is going to happen with Milwaukee tonight. I just feel like it's going to happen because.
Well, the line's at 3. Like, it's dropped from 4.5 to 3. They know something. Like, the only difference has been that Grayson Allen will play tonight.
Hopefully.
Yeah, in theory.
Or he's not on the injury report, I guess.
I'm really salty about that because I had a parlay that last night that had him in it for over on his points, and he warmed up perfectly fine and everything, and just didn't play. So I don't know what to expect from.
Does that get voided, or how does that? That's an L?
Voided.
It doesn't get voided. It didn't get voided.
That's unfortunate. Text message them about that.
I didn't win the parlay because Dolan Wright didn't get their own points. I mean,
no, it didn't get
the principle though.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. It got voided, but it was still a loss.
Yeah. So, but honestly, if everyone's still playing for Milwaukee, then to me, then Middleton probably the better play. To me, I'm playing on FanDuel today, so he's probably the better play for me. And then Drew Holiday is a good tournament play. But other than that, I'm not going to be getting to much of any of these guys on Milwaukee today at all. I have more interest in just some of the guys on the Dallas side, especially if Porzingis is out.
Yeah, so talk to me about Dallas, Andre. It's the same situation as before, right? No Luka, no Hardaway, no Kleber, no Bullock, no WCS, but now no Trey Burke. So one more no guy. Now you said there's a chance Porzingis plays tonight. He's still questionable.
The price Barrett's ruled out.
Who? RJ Barrett?
Mm-hmm.
He's like the Abe Simpson. Abe Simpson.
I'm hitting the over on.
Alec Burks is back in play, and Kemba Walker is back in play.
Yeah, I hit the over on Kemba Walker points. Should I hit the over on Burks points? I already hit the over on Fournier's.
Wasn't that a health? Was that a health protocol thing? Why was Barrett out? For conditioning. Okay. So I guess he cleared protocols.
That might be a good game stack now.
Obi Toppin's available to play, so that hurts Kemba slightly, but not a lot, and it hurts Fournier slightly, but not a lot. They're going to need
he plays
the usage of those guys.
Yeah, it's just one more body there, but that's interesting. All right,
I placed like 15 bets during this show.
On Dallas though, Brunson's just a top priority for me. I was actually now I'm thinking about it more and more. I did have interest in Dorian Finney-Smith. Whether Porzingis plays or doesn't play, but with the way his price is set up and how now the value we have everywhere else with Sadiq Bey and everyone else open up that is cheaper to him, it's hard to get to him now. So I'm just eliminating him from my player pool. I like Porzingis if he plays because he's a good spend up option that no one's going to be on, and he's going to have to get all the usage. But other than that, just Jalen Brunson and maybe some Sterling Brown because he has to play. Probably a good amount of minutes. He's a good, I think, tournament option for sure.
Does he fall back if Porzingis plays? I know it's the same position, obviously, but like it feels like DFS can shuffle down, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think he would fall back a little bit for me as for Sterling. Who's Sterling Brown or Jalen Brunson?
I was thinking Sterling Brown. We have an if then for that, but go ahead.
Yeah, he will fall back for me. He will fall back if Porzingis is in. But I don't know. I have him both my player pool right now until we get some news or something on it.
Yeah, we have like Sterling Brown and Ntilikina both projected for around 25 fantasy points, which I don't know how useful 25 fantasy points is tonight. Like that could be okay, I guess, maybe, not sure. Grant, did you have a thought as far as Dallas?
Brunson is overpriced. Got distracted. If Porzingis ends up missing, I still think you can play Brunson. I think you can play Nicolita. I think you can play DFS. I think you can play Sterling Brown. But none of them stand out as great plays because of everything else that's going on this banana slate.
Okay, I think we have a catch me up game. You guys tell me otherwise. OKC versus Phoenix. 214 is the total. Phoenix is a 15-point favorite here. As far as OKC, Derek Favors is the only person that's not playing. Everybody's available. I know we saw the upside last night of SGA. Triple double went absolutely nuts. You needed him for like the takedown tournaments, basically at like 4%. It was awesome if you had him. Cheese is good. Dave Potts had him. He won a tournament I was in. Shout out Dave.
Classic
Phoenix.
cheese.
Yeah, I mean it's not classic cheese actually, but yeah, winning tournaments I guess.
He wins
cheese.
Everything.
He wins esports. Like he's supposed to be hibernating right now. This is where he's supposed to go away. Let other people win money. Take down some baseball. And Phoenix is healthy too. No Kaminsky, Saric, or Nader, but whatever. Those guys don't matter, and they've been out forever. Andre, is this a catch me up game? Do we like nothing is different? Nobody's getting a boost in minutes or usage. So why do we want anything here?
Only person I do want from this game maybe is because I think they want to just try to get more into some game shape better is Devin Booker at 7-6 on FanDuel. Price is too cheap for him. And I think he might go off in this game. And what better way to have a practice and warm-up game before you play Golden State on Christmas Day? So I think that they're going to use this maybe for him to get his legs more underneath him.
Oh, is that going to be a fun? We're going to have Steph most likely in a fully healthy Phoenix team. Okay. We actually have one good game on Christmas at least. I haven't looked at the schedule, but that seems like it could be fun.
I'm going to be gambling regardless.
Yeah. Whatever it is. If you want to bet on Livers, bet on anybody. Whoever's out there playing, we're going to bet on them. Grant, you got anything here to add?
Aiden's fine, but there's too many other good center plays. Move on to the next game, which is mostly a throw off too.
Yeah. We're doing great on time, by the way. I think we have 4 games left. And, I
20
think the most, well, who knows? Yeah, there you
Just
go.
start
That's about-
talking.
All right, Minnesota, Utah, 228. That is a monster number. 228 as far as the total. Utah, a tough place to play. 13-point favorite here. The Utah side, fully healthy. Everybody's healthy. Everybody available for Utah. Minnesota, this is tricky. Naz Reid is questionable. Noel is questionable. And Edwards and Pat Bev and Vanderbilt, 3 starters are out. Okogie and Prince, 2 fringe players are out. So potentially 4 fringe players out if Reid and Noel are questionable. Andre, I'm going to throw this one to you. Like Balmaro, we currently have starting, but who cares about that? Not on this slate. Get out of town, Balmaro. Yeah, what do you have for me?
Jaden McDaniels, D'Angelo Russell, and probably one of the best. He probably should be the best tournament player on the slate if he's aggressive from the get-go. Karl-Anthony Towns. He's a great pivot off of Joel Embiid. In the past, I know he's dominated Gobert. This year, he hasn't really had a smash game against him yet, but that game might be this game where he has no choice but to, if he wants his team to win. So you might see Cat go back to just destroying and being really physical. And that type of Karl-Anthony Towns is a Towns I like. So I'll be probably a little bit over on him on GPPs for sure.
Grant?
Cat's fine. Russell's fine. I'm fading this game.
I just on the fly pulled up some of his StatMuse lines. I was to see if it's anything interesting. Just Towns versus Gobert, fine, but I don't know if it's anything. We'll see. Yeah, for sure. He's awesome, by the way. He can hit the 3. I love big men. He can step back into the 3. I think he's shooting over 40% this year from 3. Better than Steph. Not a better 3-point shooter than Steph for the record, but just like he's really, really good. Love Cat. All right. At Utah side, everybody's healthy, so we're not playing anybody on Utah, right? Like you can, sure, Andre, but I don't think I am.
In the game stack, I'll just run it back with either Donovan Mitchell or Mike Conley. That's it.
Grant, Utah,
Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that says you have to do it. Of course they can, but the route's a little bit trickier. Charlotte at Denver.
Joker. That's the end of it.
but Grant, he stunk yesterday.
Don't care. Joker, best play on the slate. First spend up. Not close. Blame.
He's right though. Joker is the best play in this game. I'm not playing nobody else.
Dean, this is DFS. All we care about is today and today only. It doesn't matter what they did in the past or what they're doing in the future.
That's a good thought actually, because sometimes I forget. Well, yeah, like yesterday they got blown out. Well, actually the game got closer and they stuck with the bums. They stuck with the guys off the bench. I mean, whatever. Relatively speaking, there weren't, you know what I mean. Atlanta, the game before that was a blowout and it was foul trouble. He had an ejection, he had foul trouble. Look at the game log. It's like, he hasn't been spectacular by his standards, but this is a matchup against Charlotte. And like, this is like a 75 spot on layaway. Just, we have all the money in the world for it. Of course, there are some cheap centers and lineup construction and yada, yada, but Jokic is just an awesome play. Runbacks, Andre, on the Charlotte side, any runbacks you're interested in?
No, they're too expensive today. I can't get to anyone. I tried to, but I can't. No.
What was another one I thought that was a little bit interesting as well too? I think Barton had a decent price somewhere. Was it FanDuel? Yeah, he's 5'6" on FanDuel. That's pretty good.
Joker or Barton is the only two I'll be playing today from that game.
$20 on Yahoo is not bad either. Grant, did you have anything as far as Charlotte, or you just want to move on?
Moving on.
I'm telling you, look, we went and just sped so fast. Now we just
don't know how much I want to talk about Podol, as you call it.
Yeah, I like this. That's like one of my favorite games.
I call him by his name. His name is Jakob Poeltl, and we'll talk about him in a second.
Jacob Podol, as you call him.
I don't call him.
Dean, learn how to pronounce foreign names.
I'm doing my best. All right, Memphis at Golden State. 217 is the total. Golden State is a 6-point favorite here. Of course, Golden State, they're without Iguodala, they're without Wiggins, they're without Poole, they're without Lee. They do play a bunch of dudes now that rotation gets a little bit thinner, but they're still probably going to play their 10 or 11 when you extend the guys like Porter and Chioza and Bielitsa.
Let's talk about the new Matrix movie.
It was pretty good.
No spoilers.
Let's go back to
society. You could say, if you want to give me a spoiler free,
I said it's pretty good.
Better than 2 and 3. I saw 1 recently. I liked it, but I heard 2 and 3 are bad.
I mean, I enjoyed 2 and 3. Not as good as 1. Potentially better than 2 and 3. There was the nostalgia of it that made me feel good watching it last night.
Andre, the new Matrix movie. Where is it? Where is it power ranking amongst the 4 Matrix movies? Is it second?
Probably second or third. Yeah, second or third.
And 1's 1, right? 1's in its own tier.
Yeah, of course. 1 is the best one by far. It's the original.
Okay. Yeah, and as far as the Memphis side, we have some injuries there. Brandon Clark is out. Zaire Williams is not playing basketball tonight. Conchar and Tyus Jones are both questionable as well. Well, Grant, I will start with you as far as the Golden State side. Curry, much more expensive on DK than he is on FanDuel. We're projecting Kuminga to draw the start. He's a pretty good fantasy point minute player. He got hurt last time I played him when he started. I'm not bitter about it at all, though. We have Peyton also drawing the start, but
I want no one from this game.
Guys.
If you want to play Steph over on FanDuel, if you want to play Porter, Toscano Anderson, Draymond, or Peyton, that's fine. Oh, son of a biscuit!
What?
Cat is out.
Oh, is Naz Reid playing?
Naz Reid is now playing.
Wait, who's going to be the big for Minnesota? Gobert's going to eat somebody alive out there. Chris Silva?
I don't even
know.
know.
Nathan Knight. It's going to be Nathan Knight season.
Oh,
is it going to be Nathan Knight season? They're both out?
All right, honestly, if you're playing this slate today, please be by your computer at all times because at any given moment, you don't know. We don't know.
Wait, Naz Reid is available, Grant. Naz Reid season.
Yes, I said that.
Yeah,
said. I misheard you. Never mind. I got excited.
So Naz Reid is a good play, but a good fantasy play. But other than that, I don't know. When it comes to we were talking about Golden State, like he said, Steph. I'm not playing no one from Memphis, but I'm playing Steph, Draymond, or Otto Porter. That's it.
By the way, this is a big deal because Naz Reid has power forward eligibility on DK. So it's not like he's taking one of those center spots. He's 4.2K. And I almost definitely he's going to draw the start. And he's a good fantasy point minute guy. Of course, not a great matchup. And he will draw his fouls and potentially get into foul trouble. But yeah, I think he's pretty interesting. Probably going to be a pretty good math play. I haven't built anything yet.
Is Russell going to have a 50% usage tonight? And Beasley?
He's going to have a big usage. Yes. I don't know how efficient he'll be. But his usage will be there for sure, right? Like no Edwards and no Cat. Like that's the one, one.
And then Nowell, actually, he's going to play a boatload of minutes. He should have some usage.
Yeah. So Jay on the Wells officially in as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's gonna probably be important. Well, I don't know about important, but he's definitely in the pool of cheap guys. God, this slate is wild.
Bananas. Say bananas.
It's bananas. I could spell it for you too. Bananas. McKinley Wright is a person who is entering the health and safety protocols as well. What team is he on? Quick, Grant.
I don't know.
Andre McKinley Wright.
What'd you say?
McKinley Wright is entered the health and safety protocols. I was asking what team he's on. Anybody know?
No idea.
No clue. I wish him well though. All right. Do we talk about Memphis? Memphis is playing.
Yeah,
I don't want anyone with Ja Morant there. He takes away the usage from almost everyone on that team. He's probably not going to play enough minutes to be relevant. Everyone's priced up to where they probably should be on a slate with so much value. I don't want any of them. Dre, go.
What Grant says.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. And I did a whole write-up today talking about how Ja Morant's in a bad spot. Ja Morant, second in the league in drives to the basket. Golden State is first or second as far as yielding the second fewest points in the paint. So it just does not match up as a good Ja matchup for me. I know we had one good game against earlier this season, but that was in overtime too. But whatever. I'm not playing Ja this evening. And also he's a comeback injury. He played 28 minutes his first game back. Maybe he gets to 32. That's probably not going to be enough for me. We are, in fact, going to have some time for questions, which is great. We have one game left. We'll talk about it in a second.
Now, if I talk for 10 minutes about Jacob Pirtle,
I'll cut you off. At least you pronounced it correctly. Congratulations.
I called
fire
him
up
Jacob.
for questions.
I made you just think that.
Oh, yeah, it's Jakob. Good Lord. Hit us up on the Rotogrinders.com Discord, rotogrinders.com/Discord live stream chat channel. It is free. It doesn't cost anything. Even if you're not a paying premium member at Rotogrinders, you can join us there. All right. The hammer that is San Antonio and the Lakers. The total in that game is 225. The Lakers are 1.5 point favorites, so it is high and it is tight. Let's see. As far as the Lakers, Ariza is out. Howard maybe comes back tonight. But Monk, Avery, Bradley, Reeves, Bazemore all out. Davis, of course, is out as well. San Antonio fully healthy. It's so wild. We have like 3 or 4 still fully healthy teams.
Well, wait, the day will come.
Well, yeah. I mean, the night is young. Well, Grant, you keep talking about Jakob Poeltl like you're not playing. You're not playing him though. Like he's fine in your pool, but like
he's the guy to pivot off to if you have some room to make up. There's obviously a lot of guys early on that could potentially dictate this slate. There's going to be a very important thing where you could end up late swapping. He becomes a very important piece of that, considering he can put up 50. He does have 50-point upside, by the way. He's going up against
Is it a 2v2 or how do you pivot to him? Because you have guys like Naz Reid and you have, what position are you pivoting from? Like what center do you have that's a
so we have
price?
5 games at the 9 o'clock slate. You're probably playing Jokic. You're probably thinking about playing D'Angelo Russell. You might be into playing Gobert now. On the Phoenix side, you go obviously into playing Ayton, Steph Curry. But there's also the 8:30 game where I have a feeling that some news is going to come out fairly soon, just making sure that notification wasn't anything important. I get that, but you could know fairly quickly if you're in some trouble.
All right. Yeah, that's an interesting thought. Well, you mentioned Gobert, like he's like 9'7". Nobody's playing him, and he's going to absolutely maul. Like,
yeah, and also DeJounte Murray on the slate going up against the Lakers, one of the fastest paced teams in the league that's not very good defensively. They'll have Russell Wilson defense.
Play on the slate. My favorite.
Love it, Dre. Love it. Tell Dean to suck it. Tell him to suck it.
I said nothing negative about DeJounte Murray, but go ahead.
might be that guy. I'm thinking if I should just lock him in because he's owned the Lakers this season. He's going to continue to own the Lakers this year. There's no one on that team that can stop him. And I love the fact that Russell Westbrook is playing because that just makes it even better because we can't guard nobody. Yes, and he can't guard nobody. So to me, DeJounte Murray is the best play on the slate. Play him in as much line as you can. I love the fact that he's low owned right now and his ownership is continuing to go down. I'm going to have him in the majority of my lineups. I'm probably Jakob Poeltl as well. With AD being out, this game should be a close game, tight. I even like LeBron.
Would you say it's going to be bananas?
Bananas. Yes, it would be bananas. I even like getting to LeBron on this slate because who's gonna this game should be competitive. LeBron is old, we understand that, but he has to play his best basketball to try to get this team to win. But to me, by far, DeJounte Murray, best player on the slate. Just lock him in. He's gonna go off. I don't even know what else to say. He's too cheap. I'm excited to play him.
Yeah, I'm looking at point guards, but Dinwiddie, obviously we talked about DeLon Wright, probably falls back a little bit now. Well, especially if Herter plays, he's going to fall back. We mentioned LeVert in Indiana. So nobody's going to, what do we have? I mean, I'm doing a refresh on our ownership and I can't imagine it's fully up to date. It'll be, soon enough as we get the lock, we're still an hour away from lock, but I imagine Murray is not going to be owned at all. Maybe 5% or less. What are we looking at here? 6% is our current ownership projection on DK at 10.3K. And
yeah, that's before all this bananas news comes in.
What now? Can you spell
bananas,
that?
Bananas. Eat them. They're full of potassium.
I need that spelling bee like that bell ding. I don't ever watched the spelling bee before. Maybe that's just me. You ever gamble on this?
Darn it, Devin put my Wi-Fi password on in the chat.
What? Did he really?
Yeah, it's Suck It Dean.
What is your Wi-Fi password?
It's Suck It Dean. He just put it in chat.
No, are you being serious?
Why would I laugh about that?
That is hilarious.
No, it's not actually my password, Devin. That was a joke. There's lots of reason to lie about it. It was clearly a funny joke.
Najee Marshall and Health of Safety Protocols. Pelicans are down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 or 11. Graham.
I love BI today as well.
Yeah. We have some time for questions, boys. You made it through. Carolina guy. I'm just going to bounce back and forth. Andre, I'll ask you first. This is for Carolina guy. FanDuel tournaments, your favorite game stack, Andre.
Oh, I'm just gonna say probably the Lakers, Spurs. Lakers, Spurs, highest total on the slate actually. So yeah,
Grant, answer the same question.
Same.
Question from T from LOC. Oh, this is for me, asking who's my guy. Well, I wrote up today on Scores and Odds a whole bunch of bets for Karis LeVert before that news broke. Obviously, it becomes, if you lock in the lines, then you're feeling pretty good because the lines I imagine have adjusted. So I will stick with LeVert. I know it's chalky now, but it wasn't that chalky when I wrote it up. So there, that's my guy. Love LeVert this evening, as does everybody else at this point. Carolina guy, this is for yourself, Grant. FanDuel tournament, 60% on Hernan Gomez. Are we eating that chalk? And I think the important thing to notice for Hernan Gomez, besides that ownership, is he's also power forward eligible. So like you have some versatility.
Yeah.
You're not it's not the opportunity cost. You're not locking yourself in as far as
I don't think you
center.
need to anymore. At the beginning of the show, I would have said yes, but there's so many other viable options just because the Detroit news, because of Minnesota, because of all the ridiculous bananas news that we've come out. I don't think you need to eat that. I still think it is positive EV to go over the overweight on him because he does have a massive amount of upside here.
This is a really interesting question, Andre. Slambert wants to know. I have not tried this, and it's an interesting qualifier, but he says, can you build a lineup for DraftKings tournaments with no player more expensive than $6K? I don't think that's right. I don't think you're supposed to do that because
the qualifier should be 1 because you can throw in Jokic and then you have a whole bunch of other great plays at under 6K, but like Jokic is going to outscore everyone else by 10, 15. So
not necessarily, but yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Most everyone else, he's going to outscore every single person under even 6K by 15. Yeah, Jakob Poeltl's going to get 50. He'll get 75.
Andre, I mean,
Murray.
We're just guessing here, Andre. Do you have a lean as far as Porzingis as Q tag? I mean, I don't know. I
truly don't know. I really don't know. I thought he was going to play last game. He didn't play last game. So I think, are they playing on Christmas Day too? Yeah, they are. If I'm correct, I think they are playing on Christmas Day. So
yes, they are. They're going to want him on Christmas because they're without Luka.
So they might wait. They might hold him out. I wouldn't be surprised they hold him out just to make sure he makes it to the Christmas game.
Maybe they're waiting for Milwaukee to rule out Middleton and or Holiday first too.
Yeah,
that game's going to be a mess. It's possible they all play, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. A few more questions as we step aside and make way for crunch time. If you guys are premium members, you know that goes down. They will take you guys straight up the lock, and any news that breaks, they will adjust accordingly. Grant, FanDuel tournaments, we have to like Melo tonight versus Denver since SGA cards them up last night. Well, it doesn't necessarily work that way.
No. Then we have to hate Jokic because he got thrashed last night. No. Play Murray.
But you can play him, not for that reason, but you can still play if you want to play him.
You can play him, but play Murray instead.
Wait, play who instead?
DeJounte.
No. Okay, you got the wrong Melo. We're talking. This is LaMelo for Charlotte. Not Carmelo.
Yes, I know. Play DeJounte Murray instead of LaMelo.
Okay, well, he's probably wants to stack it up with. Okay, that's just sort of worked out that the other Melo was in the. I gotcha. All right, so FanDuel tournaments. Just put a number 1 through 5 on this, Andre. 1 through 5. How interested are you in Miles Turner versus Houston?
1 being what and 5 being what?
1 being nah, 5 being yeah. Adjust accordingly.
I'm at a 3.5. 3.5, yeah.
Grant?
4.
Turner? Same deal, run it back with Mitch Rob, who crushed yesterday. Was it yesterday
2.
or the day before? It does
0.
Now they have Obi Toppin.
0.
Might muck it up a little bit, and more reserves too. All right. DeJounte Murray, this is from Slambert. DeJounte Murray has 3 triple dubs in his last 5 games. Do you like that bet? Grant, you know what the odds are on his triple double tonight?
I can figure that out.
Honestly,
well, you can go to a website. Yeah.
I'm going to give you a free bet because I didn't even place the bet, but now I'm going to go do it after the show on Scores and Odds. There should be I'm pretty sure they do have it on FanDuel, the sportsbook app. DeJounte Murray, triple double, and the win, performance double. Lock it in.
DeJounte Murray's plus 380. If you parlay them together, it is roughly, it's going to be like plus 700.
Have I seen the new Spider-Man movie? I've not. Is that TJ was in the show the other day? What up, TJ? TJ smashed the other day. He should be joining us in future shows for sure. You guys see Spider-Man just yet? I haven't left the house.
I can't wait to see it again, Dean.
Oh gosh, I'm so excited to see it for the first time. I have not had time yet.
It's better than The Matrix, Andre?
Yeah.
Kevin Herter remains out. Bananas.
BANANAS. All right. We got to step aside and get out and make way for crunch time. Do appreciate y'all watching us. Again, enjoy. This is no show tomorrow. There's no basketball in the association. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Everybody be well. Go ahead, Andre.
No, is there a show on Christmas?
No. Well, Christmas? Oh, I don't know. It's Saturday, and I'm not on it, to the best of my knowledge. I don't think there is one. There's probably a premium show, but maybe. There's definitely our lineup HQ stuff going down. Oh, there you go. Free lineup HQ video. There you go. Have at it. Thank you, Devin. Chiming in. Producer Devin, all over it. Grant, who's breaking the slate? Give me one guy and one guy only who's going to smash this bananas BANAS.
Jacoby Pertelli.
See Jacoby Bertelli and raise him, Andre. What do you have for me?
DeJounte Murray.
All right. That was Andre. That was Grant. That was Devin producing. That was basketball. Do hit that like button on the old YouTube. We appreciate that for the algorithm. I was Dean. Enjoy the night. Good luck. We're out of here. Oh,
Thank you.